This week from View from the Top, we're at the Village of Oxford offices. We're going to meet with Joe Madore, we're going to meet with Amy Desotell, and we'll meet with Kimberly Smith. And we'll hear what's the latest from their departments. We hope you enjoy this View from the Top. Good day to you. This is Chuck Cameron and Amy Desotell. We're sitting at the amazing Oxford Chamber of Commerce offices, and this is View from the Top. This session of View from the Top, we're starting with Amy. And Amy, could you tell us, please, what our viewers need to know about what's going on in Oxford and the Chamber of Commerce in the next couple of weeks, couple of months?
Next couple of months, we have a lot of great things going on for our members to network. And the Chamber is doing coffee connects and mixers. We're going to do them every other month. And our next mixer will be at the Tap. And it's a way for our members to come together and network with one another and maybe trade different ideas and things like that. We have the directory that we be working on this summer, getting ready to do a new directory with all of the great things about Oxford in it and the map. We have...
How would somebody get one of these directories if they didn't have one?
They're here at the Chamber office. They'll go out in all the welcome bags to the new people moving into town, and we have them at the village office. The directory is a great resource for the community to resource for businesses. Also, we have our community breakfast coming up, and that's going to be at Independence Village again. And we have a lot of great speakers coming. It's an hour and a half, and then also networking with all different businesses again.
Now, is this for members only, or is this for the community?
Community can come. It's open to the public. It's open to whoever. So it's not just for our members.
Okay, and the date again on that?
This will be March 19th.
So if I was in the community and I didn't know much about the chamber, but I'd like to kind of find out what's going on locally, I might get over there to, where is it again?
It's at Independence Village, and you can just register. The registration will be open soon. You can register on our website and get a ticket and come on out. Chef does a beautiful buffet breakfast, and you'll learn all about different things happening in your community, township, village, and probably state too.
Now, this is Independence Village, so we'd be meeting over there.
Yes,
That's a
in
lovely place.
It's an assisted living facility.
Excellent.
Off of Market Street. Well, actually, I can give you the exact address, 701 Market Street.
Excellent. A lovely place, really.
Yes.
Very nice.
They do a wonderful job.
Okay, so people could find out what's going on in the community by coming to the breakfast and meeting folks.
Yes, absolutely, 9 to 10:30. There'll be a meet and greet in the beginning. Then we'll have our speakers. We'll give out a couple community leadership awards. And then breakfast will be served during the speakers, and then networking at the end.
That's good.
Yeah.
And the chamber provides that. Is there a charge for that?
It's $30.
$30, right?
Yes.
So I'll have to eat plenty to justify my $30.
Yes. Well, and enjoy your speakers.
And enjoy the speakers. Exactly right.
Yes.
Okay. So what else is going on locally that our viewers need to know about?
The Chamber is always looking for volunteers for different events that we're having. We're having our golf outing in June, the weekend of Father's Day. And that'll be at Madore Country Club, so we're always looking for volunteers. The ambassador program is going strong again, so ambassadors, which are cheerleaders basically for the Chamber, to let everybody know different things that we have going on. And we're looking to work with the community and do different events. We might do a poker run and some other fun things.
Got it. So if I'm a business person and I'm not a member of the Chamber of Commerce,
Yes.
why would I want to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce other than they have so many cool things going on? Other than that. And they have really nice pens and trinkets too.
Yes, they do.
Trinkets, not trinkets.
To be a part of the chamber is to build your business. We're here to market you and to advertise for you. Our Facebook page is followed by thousands. We have a newsletter that goes out every Monday morning, and that newsletter is followed by thousands, not just chamber members. So you could place a help wanted as a member, or some ad that you're maybe having a promo on something or a sale for something, and place that in there. That goes out to thousands of people. Then we share that onto our Facebook page also. And they're usually, I would say, two different audiences. And then also the networking of meeting other business owners to get the word out about your business. And Oxford is a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody wants to refer everybody that they know. So it's another great way to help your business move along. We have welcome bags that you can put any type of advertisement in to let new people moving in the area know about your business. There's a lot of different things. The directory, our website, people go there because they trust the chamber. And if they're looking for a business, they can find you on there as a member. So many different things that we can do to help build your business.
Excellent. Well, we surely appreciate all the neat activities that the Chamber of Commerce does for the communities, plural. And so we're also looking forward to spring, when there's not quite so much cold and snow, so we can get back outside. But until then, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Y'all come down, Oxford, great town. See you soon.
Very walkable.
Very walkable. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Good business. We are sitting here in the village offices with Joe Madore. Joe, thank you for your time, my friend.
You're welcome.
In your role as the leader of the village here, what's going on that our viewers should know about? What's happening, what will be happening in the future that is going on in the village that is pretty interesting?
Well, again, this year we will be tearing up one of our streets to replace the water main underneath it, and that would be Moyers Street from Mechanic over to Pontiac Street. Probably happen in the middle of summer. We're trying to avoid the school season as much as possible to help with the bus transportation system. Last year we did Park Street. It's wrapped up towards the end of the fall. It got a late ending. We had hoped it didn't go that long, but it did. But earlier in the year, we redid our entire parking lot here at the Village Hall complex, which was way beyond years.
That was, yes.
And it turned out very well, very
better.
great. We're happy with that. People come in and out. It's much better for them to walk across.
A question, if I may, about the streets. Why is it, these are big projects, at least from my view. Why do these streets, what's being done, and why is it necessary to do that? Because it's a lot of work.
So after the Flint water crisis, the state of Michigan came up with what they called the lead and copper rules, LCRs. And anything that may have or previously had a lead connection or even a small piece connected to it has to be replaced. And they give you a 20-year time frame. Most of the water mains we're removing are ductile iron. They have galvanized lines come over the street where the curb stop valve is. Sometimes it's still galvanized into the home. Sometimes it's been upgraded to copper. But usually where the main takes off and leads to that lead going over, there's a small little gooseneck, they call it, that was lead. And in most cases still is lead. But it's a small little, maybe 18 inches of lead that's been in there for 50, 60, 70 years and causing nobody any problems. But nevertheless, we have to replace it. Now, in some cases, it's It's needed also because the 4-inch mains are kind of undersized.
Okay.
So we're replacing them with 8-inch mains. Those old galvanized lines, even though there's no lead even maybe connected to it anymore, they corrode. People can barely get any water flow through them. So as we go through, those are being upgraded as well. But it's all being mandated by the state.
Got it. So this is state law that requires communities like this to replace and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do we pay for all that? Does the state help pay for that? How does that work?
We have not garnered any state funds. Some of the larger communities have had some funding that came out through some grants over the years, but it's a drop in the bucket even for those large communities. We're looking at $4 or $5 million worth of upgrades because you have to tear the road apart to get to it.
Yep.
And some of our streets were in need of that anyway, so it's kind of helps on both prongs there. Moyers Street, which we're doing last year, it isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But in this case, we actually did get a grant from MDOT, who had a road improvement grant, and by doing it with another project, another infrastructure project, gave us a little bit better scoring on it. It's called the Category B funding. So of this about $800,000 project that this one is going to be, we're getting, I think, about $239,000 through MDOT to help us cover some of the cost of the road work.
It's a good thing, but do we have to bite the bullet on the rest?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And we won't get another one more than likely either because they spread them around. There's only a few of them each year.
Right.
So as they spread them around the communities, I'll be surprised we ever would get another one.
At the risk of asking, if they got one road and now another road this summer, are there subsequent similar roads that need to be replaced and repaired?
Yes, Denison still has some more. East Street has some. There's several sections still. We may take a year or two off of them in order to save up a little bit of money.
Sure.
If we didn't get the grant this year, we weren't going to be able to do a project this year.
Right.
But we applied for it and we got it, so okay, so that helps us because the local road fund has to cover the cost of the road part of it. The water fund can cover all the underground water and the services and the sidewalks that are torn up because of the water, and a portion of the road paving is due to the water main too. But the road funding we get is very inadequate from the state. So if we spend what we have of our local road funds on this local street, we really don't have much money for a few more years to do another one.
Other ones, yeah, sure. So if there, I'm just wondering if there's a problem, a major problem, so you don't have sinkholes or something like that, but if there's a big road problem that all of a sudden comes up, if we're spending all our money to do what we must do on these streets that you just described, where does the money come from? Where might the money come from a major repair on the roads if the cupboard is bare as far as road money?
I can't see of anything of the major something popping on our radar like that that would hit us, blindside us.
Good.
It's more of your everyday wear and tear, old things that have been patched. Luckily, as everyone that lives around here has been around Oxford for many years know, we have a very gravelly base below Oxford, so the roads hold up really well for a long period of time because there isn't a lot of water in the ground to heave and break them all the time.
The water just goes south, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's one lucky thing. But nevertheless, tearing up the road and repaving the road and digging down new water mains is still pricey.
Got it. Okay, so that's road work. What else is going on or will be going on that our folks should know about?
So something that's kind of popped on, not a major thing, but we installed, we worked with another company who installed the 4 electric vehicle charging stations downtown about a year or so ago. And around November, December, it came to light that Enel, E-N-E-L, was the equipment manufacturer who decided they're leaving North America.
That's a big decision.
Yeah, they were no longer, all of a sudden, no more customer support, no more anything on those chargers. Now, we didn't put out any funding for those chargers. We just facilitated with the locations and helped them get where the best spot was to run the infrastructure and the wiring to them. But, so we had them, they were out of service for a little while, but we were notified right after the holidays that they've been retrofitted with the different handles on them and even the software inside, which is a different platform. They are supposedly back in a working order now. We're not aware of what platform they're using now, but I think those vehicle chargers, those who use them can look online and locate them, and I think they're pretty universal, the ones we have.
Good.
So, but that's something that was kind of a real bummer. We had at least one resident who was calling us that because we installed those, they bought an EV and they thought it was convenient, and then 6 months later they're not working.
Oops. Now, are the chargers you speaking about now? I remember driving by ones behind the Patterson Pharmacy.
Yep.
That's the ones you're talking about.
There's one there, and there's one in the northwest lot, all the way out by the dumpster enclosures.
Okay.
And there's one in the Red Knapp slot over along near the church.
All right.
And then one behind the movie theaters. And we did have someone question why the movie theater, they thought that we were taking over a handicap spot, which is along the front row, and we weren't. We were behind it.
Yep.
And even though it's in the front row, the closest row to the theater, we did it because of the island there with the power poles. We were able to come right down and come into that versus trenching across the parking lot to put it out further.
I imagine there's a fair amount of cost associated with, it's wonderful to have a plug, but the power's got to come from somewhere and be monitored and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of cost to that?
Yeah, we had to facilitate where the best spot was to have the drops down from the DTE power poles, because then they had to install meter bases in order for the charges to be, metered, of course. We don't pay those charges. The company that installed it does. We get a few pennies here and there. I think the biggest check we got for one quarter was like $19.
Did you save it or did you spend it crazily?
We spent it. We paid for parking lot with it.
That's a very thin layer of paving.
So again, but because I was able to disconnect with this other contractor out of Holly, they were looking for locations and they put up all the money, around $16,000 for each one of those locations, as well as some additional costs for the DTE connections, I think. So
it's a real commitment on companies' parts to say there's going to be a need enough in the future so that we will spend a lot now because we hope to gain. I mean, nobody does it for free, so we want to gain a lot for a long time.
Yeah, they have a lot of money out there and hoping to recoup it eventually. And when the platform of the product that they were using went away, I'm sure they had a real tense moment.
This sphincter tightening.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but from what I was informed, and they're back operating now. So,
good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Anything coming up in the spring other than the road work with the village that the folks need to know about? Are things status quo? Things are going well?
Status quo, going well. We did the Park Street project last year, plus a little bit on East Burdick. That was just to help some drainage issues we had over there. The DDA is working on some crosswalks on East and West Burdick to help connect the lots in conjunction with us and then repairing some sidewalks and stuff in that area to make it walkability user-friendly.
Got it.
But we're just kind of helping them with that.
Now, the villages, what are the boundaries? What's the size of the village? Is it square mile or something?
Like 1.2 miles, I think is what it is.
Got it. How did the village end up being, clearly it started there, but then the township sort of was the unincorporated, was just a township.
Yeah, right. I think when the villages and cities grow, they eventually incorporate and stuff like that, and then create their own boundaries, because you have some that were created and happened organically, but they were just part of the larger area. And then they end up, because of whether it's for infrastructure and sewer and water and things like that, they will sometimes incorporate just to get their systems in place.
Got it. So then, what would you say is the population in the village?
I think the last census showed us from 2020 we were a little over 3,500.
3,500 people. That's a lot of. I love driving through the village because the homes are just wonderful old homes.
There's some beautiful ones, yeah.
They really are.
And beautiful, nice new ones over there, the other side of town as well. And
What are the eastern boundaries of the village?
Well, the Oxford Lake subdivision out there on Lakeville Road is the eastern boundary out there.
Got it.
Right as you get to the middle school,
Got it. Okay.
or Lakeville Elementary, actually, that's right where that boundary line is.
Got it.
As you drive along the lake
So
there.
it covers a lot of different kinds of demographics and business and stuff like that.
I think it was unique that we have a beach in the village with a little lake and a beach.
It really
things
is.
like that. A lot of towns don't have that.
Exactly right. All right.
So, but this year we're hoping to just do that one project. We're happy with our parking lot and everything here.
Got it.
We're on good and stable ground and going to keep it that way.
If folks wanted to share with you their ideas, complaints, questions, concerns, all that stuff that people think about when they're on their phone looking at irrelevant, drop-down things that they're looking at, how would they go about getting that information to you?
Right on our website, thevillageofoxford.org, we have contact information for council members as well as myself and our office staff.
Right.
Now, one thing that I was literally working on, that's what was keeping me a little late for our meeting, is a mass text operation or a program where we will put it where people can opt in. If we have messages to send out, we will send those out to their cell phones. Because a lot of times people don't have social media, so they might not see it on our Facebook page.
Sure.
I don't really use Facebook myself personally, hardly ever. And some don't have an email.
Right.
Or if they have an email, they might only check it once a week or something like that. So if you have an issue with a road or a water main break or something like that, we're looking for something a little bit more timely and a better rate where someone's going to see it. If you send someone an email, I think the rate people might see them might be 30%.
That's 70% no. That's not a good thing.
So I've been working on the system. I've talked to council about it a little bit. Now, it's something that it's not meant for two-way communications. It's more like if we have an issue, if this water main broke over here and this road's closed, it's going to be closed for 24 hours, we want to send it out. And if there's a boil water alert because of the water main break, we want to send it out because, though, again, that's something we have to try to get out as soon as we can. But some people have never been to our website.
Right.
And they don't know, and they're not going to ever be on our Facebook page.
Right.
So word of mouth. If it's a small isolated area, our DPW goes right out, put hangers right on the doors,
Yep.
which is typically the case. But we'll do both. We like to get the notifications out. But we're looking at that. It's an opt-in, and the way I want to look at it is, I might only send 3 or 4 of those a year.
Right.
We don't want to send them out for just small little things or events or just minor communications, because I don't want people to ignore them or then get tired of them and then opt out. It's something that, if you get something from us, there's a reason.
This isn't about news, who's playing in the park next Thursday night.
Right.
This is
Now, the
not that.
DDAs, I've talked to Kimberly, Executive Director of DBA, this week as well, and they're looking at something like that as well. So we might be able to piggyback together with the same program, but a different list of people or things like that. If it came from them, it would be specifically from the DDA.
Got it.
And if it came from us, it would be specifically from the Village of Oxford. Where theirs might be, they might send 1 or 2 a week through the summertime.
Sure.
Or hopefully I send 1 or 2 a year.
And people are looking for information from them for something to do.
Yeah.
And they're needing information from you to something that they really should be aware of, which is
Yes.
a different level.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And that's what, for me, it's just how do we get the information out?
Exactly. Well, we appreciate all the good work. The village is a lovely place to live. I like being next to you here, and it's great. So thank you very much for your time and all the work you do.
Great. Thank you. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, appreciate
All
it.
right. Thanks.
Well, thanks for staying tuned. I'm sitting here in the office of Kimberly Smith. Kimberly,
It's me.
Lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you too.
Really, you should work here more often. Oh, you do.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
All right.
Every day or so.
All right. So tell us, if you would, what's going on with the Downtown Development Authority,
Yes.
and what should our folks know about coming events?
Sure. So since the last that you've been here, we have had some staffing changes. That's been a big one.
I recognize that a different person is sitting there.
That's correct. That's correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we just recently, as of yesterday, had my replacement filled.
Bravo.
So very exciting. Jess Dickinson is our new administrative and promotions coordinator.
Good.
So she will be here a couple days during the week. We're going to have open office hours now for people to be able to come in, business owners, building owners, community members. That'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12.
Right.
So that's very exciting. Also, we have, this is kind of our quiet-ish time from a community standpoint. We have our accreditation happening next week through Main Street America. So there's been a lot of preparation for that. So
What does that mean?
what does that mean? So it means that we are basically being audited to see if we conform to all of the requirements of that organization. So they have specific requirements to be considered an accredited downtown historic Main Street. And they're coming in to make sure that we're doing that.
Got it.
So a lot of documentation, organization, making sure that we have processes in place, that we have documentation for those processes, and that we're all singing from the same songbook. So that's been happening over the last month and a half. After that, we have Restaurant Week coming up at the end of February, which we're really excited about.
Tell us a little bit about Restaurant Week.
So Restaurant Week, this is our 3rd year in partnership with Lake Orion. It's one of our Stronger Together
Just
events.
a really good idea. I love that.
We do too. We do too. It's a synergy. Obviously, we can do more with partnering, and so we're going to host it together. We're going to have different eating establishments, so not just bars and restaurants. We have small cafes as well that participate, bakeries. So they're going to participate. They'll have specific specials that they don't normally have, and then it should be a fun time. So that's going to run the last week in February into March 1st. And then we, of course, have our St. Patty's Day pregame pub crawl, which is a huge fan favorite. That's going to be on March 15th.
You can watch people get silly.
Maybe.
Several people have gotten silly.
That's what I hear.
Yes.
But not through the DDA, of course. That's on their own.
Well, you're a very professional organization.
Yeah, we try.
Yes. Good.
During office hours.
So lots of good things coming.
We do. And then, of course, our summer concerts and farmers market are kicking off in June. In between there, we're going to do some beautification projects around downtown. So looking at planting, pruning, looking at beautifying our downtown. We're also going to have some business development opportunities for our businesses. That's an area of focus for us in 2025, is really providing more resources, training, matching businesses together to help synergize again and do more with as much as we can. So those are kind of the big things for 2025.
When we spoke with your predecessor, I forget her name, but she used to work here.
Oh, Kelly, we love her.
She mentioned that, I think we were talking at the patio last fall, which is such a cool thing, and she mentioned that there were hopes or initiatives to be developed for the other side, for the behind block of the West businesses.
Correct.
Is anything coming along those lines yet, or is that still percolating?
So we did receive grant funding through Oakland County, so we're very excited about that.
Cool.
Part of that grant funding is going to be used for a crosswalk and like a sidewalk improvement project. So that's actually kicked off, and we're starting the bidding process and the design process for that. That's one piece of it. The second piece is that placemaking space. We're looking at some initiatives within the park to try and upgrade some materials within the park, and then looking at that space behind, so it's the southwest quadrant. Time will tell exactly what we can offer over there. I'm sure, as you know, every project you have your budget, and it tends to go over budget and time. So we'll have to see financially what we can accomplish with that grant project. So more to come in 2025.
Very cool. Well, so people should continue to hang around here because it's just full of good stuff.
It's full of wonderful stuff. We love what we do here at the DDA. We love Oxford.
Clearly.
We have fun. We want to bring people to downtown. We want to have them enjoy their time while they're in downtown. Oh, one other thing that I did want to mention, some of the business owners have gotten together and they have planned a Galentine's Day event on February 8th.
Really, what's that all about?
So it's geared towards women, but it's not, not inclusive of men. So it's open to anyone, but it's around Valentine's Day, kind of a gal day, so Galentine's. But it's February 8th, and there's a bunch of businesses that will be having specials, different activities. I know there's some ticketed events. There's a children's cooking class. There's like a charcuterie and champagne kind of scenario at one of the businesses. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and kind of a dreary time of year.
To draw the ladies in early February. Yeah, that would be a good time to do something fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So other than that, you just sit around all day with your feet up watching TV?
Pretty much.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, we are glad that you're running the boat.
Well, thank you.
And it seems like there's lots coming up,
so much stuff, and it's so much fun. We're having a great time here.
We are having a great time here. I love driving around and seeing all the people when it's a little less inclement.
Yes.
Walking around outside, just like, hey, it's just because it's winter, it doesn't mean we don't have to be outside and have some fun.
Yeah, it's funny because we'll have events. So, for example, the Soup and Sweet, it was freezing, absolutely freezing, but we had, 1,700 people at that event. So it's phenomenal. We have to entice people to come downtown, especially after the holidays. We're all a little, hibernating a little bit, but yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate all the good work you do. We'll check back with you in a couple of months and see if you can't find anything else to say.
We'll see. I'll start thinking now.
I'm guessing you'll come up with something. Thank you very much, Kimberly.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay tuned and come downtown. It's a great place to be. isn't it?
It's amazing.
Well, that was this edition of View from the Top. We hope you're enjoying these programs and encourage you to pass them on to somebody else. We want you to know what's going on in our communities. It's a great place to live in northern Oakland County. And until next time, Chuck Cameron for OCTV saying, we hope you have a very good day.